to have. How we doing? Patricia Caldwell, good to see you. Sherry Carpenter, Cameron Clark, good to see you. Thank you. Felipe Castillo. Juan Colmenares.
Here.
How we doing? Good. Gretchen Connolly,
Here.
good to see you. Dejan Del Pino. Oh, she's excused, very good. Elizabeth Eastman. Victor Edwards.
Present.
Good to see you, Marilyn. God bless you. Marilyn Foglia. Denise Ford. Hello. Nice to see you. John Martin Green is present. John Paul Gutierrez Gonzalez is not.
He's excused.
Is excused. Thank you. Michael Gross,
Here.
good to see you.
Here.
Daria Hardiman. Monique Hardin Cordero, Daria is excused.
Monique's run away.
Yes.
Ted Kovalev here.
Thank you, Ted. Sadie Hargis.
Here.
Hello. Hi, nice to see you. Laquita Henry. Heather Jason.
Present.
Hi, Heather. Good to see you. Juan Diego Jarelo.
Jaramillo.
Garavillo. Okay, Garavillo. How are you?
We'll get there.
Jaramillo.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. Chris Johnson.
Present.
Good to see you. Patricia Watler Johnson.
Present.
Good to see you. Thank you. Theodore Cole. Theodore. Theodore is here. Is his name spelled incorrectly or is this someone else?
That's someone else.
Okay. Theodore Crombie.
Here. Yeah,
Welcome.
correctly.
Hi there. How are you?
Good night.
Good to see you. Christina Maria Lopez. Good to see you. Thank you. Tina Lumley. Hi there. Rhea McDonald is okay.
Here.
Hello, Rhea. Deirdre McIntosh Brown is not yet here. Clotilde Monguia is excused.
She sent a message saying she's on the way.
Ah, very good. Thank you.
Background.
Thank you kindly. Lena Mupanyashi is excused. Solomon Prophet,
Present.
good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Teresa Coles Reagan,
Present.
hi there. I'm pretty good. How are you? Good to see you. David Ratner is here. How are you, David? Good to see you. Mateen Sassy.
Here.
How are you, sir? Shantae Styles is not yet here. Francina Waring. Shanika Wilson is excused.
She's going to go virtual.
Is she? Very good. Very good. Thank you. Alexander Abraham Jimenez.
Present.
Good to see you.
Likewise.
Thank you. Valley Zussman.
Here.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we have two.
Recording in progress.
27. We've quorum.
Great, thank you, John Martin Green. Again, welcome to everybody who came. Didn't get my welcome the first time. Thank you very much for being here. We owe gratitude to City College. Thank you for allowing us to use the space this evening. Anthony, thank you so much. At this time, do have quorum. So motion to adopt the agenda would be in order.
Go move. Seconded.
There's one note here, there's an action item, the first action item, support for Heritage Health. We had them present an executive. I received a message from them today. They wanted to remove this from our calendar. So there was some back and forth. I know there's some issues at Heritage Health at the moment. So we are gonna remove at their request, we're gonna remove that reso for support of Heritage grant. We might have to revisit that, but at this time, we're gonna remove that. Everything else that's on there stands in order. There was a motion to adopt and second already.
Yes.
Great. Motion to adopt the minutes from the May meeting.
So moved.
So move.
Second.
Second, thank you so much.
And we need to have votes on both the agenda and the minutes.
Okay,
Consent to agenda in the minutes?
Second.
thank you, Ted. Did I hear unanimous consent on both items and second as well? Thank you,
Yes.
thanks. Thank you. Okay,
Unanimous consent for roll call? That's
No.
what Ed just said?
no,
Yes.
the agenda
It's been a roll
and the
call.
minutes. It's okay,
Thank you. Hey, drink some more coffee.
yeah, pay attention. Right? Anyway, moving on to, the first item is introduction of new members. So good evening to our new members. It's a pleasure to have you join us here at Manhattan Community Board 9 on our mission to serve the community. I reviewed many of the resumes that came forward and the backgrounds, and I see we have a very talented group of people to join us. We are a hardworking group, so thank you. Get ready to do work, roll up your sleeves, stay late, come in early, whatever it takes to get it done. What is two hearings you'll probably hear me say. One is we are the eyes, the ears, and the voice of this community. There's a lot going on, and we raise our voices when needed and challenge people who need to be challenged and agree with those we agree with. The second thing you'll often hear me say is that it takes a village. And I strongly believe that. Since I've been in the community, I've tried to be involved in what's going on and been on the board 13 years now and met some great people here. We've done some great things and we push back when necessary and we go along when it's the right thing to do. So I'm proud of that. Wherever I go and I say Community Board 9, I say that with my chest out, my head up, because I'm proud of that. I had the pleasure of being at Gracie Mansion this past Tuesday for a pre-Juneteenth celebration with the mayor. And people said, "Where are you from?" I said, "Manhattan Community Board 9, Upper West Side, Harlem, Sugar Hill," proudly. So that's how we roll. And I like people to fit in. And like I said, I read the resumes, a lot of them, and good people. We need the help. We have some challenges in this community. We're fighting. I'll go into that a little bit later, but welcome.
Welcome to introduce.
Yes. So the other thing I wanted to say that attendance is key, and attendance in person is key. I know we have lives outside of this arena, but we need you here to discuss, share our ideas, and help us move along. So we do have virtual accommodations at some times, but we'd rather have you in person so you can vote on the floor. So familiarize yourself with the bylaws so you can see exactly what that is. And John Martin's going to go into that in a bit. But I'd like you to, we're going to go around the room, introduce yourself shortly, who you are, where you live basically, and why you want to be on the board, so we can kind of learn who you are. So we'll start alphabetically. Well, actually, we have to skip the first two people. They're not here today. Is Jenny Bennett? Oh,
Hi.
hi, welcome, Jenny.
I think I remember what you asked. My name is Jenny Bennett. I'm happy to be here. I'm a director. I'm an stage director and actor and educator at a college for the performing arts. I have lived in the district for 19 years, depending on what year it actually is. What was the other thing you wanted us to say?
You want to be on the
Yeah, I wanted to be on the community board because I love our community and the neighbors in it and want to promote the power that we have as a community to come together and affect change that we need and resources that we need to make that happen. And I wanted to participate in that here.
Wonderful. And where in the community do you live, Jenny?
Sugar Hill.
Oh,
I'm
great,
in like the tippy corner of
okay,
CB9.
thanks. Great, thank you so much. Next would be John Paul, is here?
John Paul Gutierrez Gonzalez?
Not here. Sadie August, is that August?
Yes. Hi, I'm Sadie. I'm gonna be starting my senior year of high school at Barton next fall. I live also up in the Tippy corner of Sugar Hill. And I wanted to be on the community board to just get more involved with my community. I feel like I get very wrapped up in like my personal goings, so I wanted to get more involved.
Great, thank you, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Which high school you say? You
Rock Science.
Oh, okay, great, great. All righty. Juan Diego. I won't even find the last name. I'll work on that.
We'll get there, yeah.
Yes.
Hi, everyone.
Alamillo.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh.
My name is Juan Diego Jaramillo. I also go by JD, a little more straightforward. I am currently a Master of Urban Planning student at Hunter College. And I also am working at a kind of smaller planning firm with an office in Midtown. I live at 142nd and Riverside here in Hamilton Heights. With my lovely fiance who's here supporting me. And I wanted to join the community board because I was exposed a lot to the important work of community boards in my studies. CB9 specifically has been my home here in New York since I moved here 10 years ago. And yeah, I just really want to be able to contribute any sorts of technical knowledge, planning knowledge, and just like basic, neighborliness to the community. So looking forward to working with you.
Look forward to working with you, thank you.
Welcome.
Next up, Theodore Crombie, is it?
Yeah, Crombie.
Crombie.
Nice to meet you all. I'm Theodore Crombie. Theo is fine. I'm a rising senior at Hunter College High School on the east side. And outside of school, I'm also on the steering committee of the Broadway Democrats. I've benefited so much from local government programs growing up in the district, and I thought that being on the community board would be a good way to give back. And I'm excited to try to do that.
And in what part of?
Oh, sorry, very, very southernmost point of MCB9.
Where?
111 Broadway.
Welcome, Theodore.
Great, thank you. Next would be Mr. Zussman.
Hi, I'm Yali Zussman. I'm gonna be a junior next year at the High School of Math Science and Engineering. Over here, a few blocks out from Village. I live in Morningside Heights on 116th Riverside Drive. And I wanted to join the community board because I feel like there's not that many opportunities for people my age to share voices and perspectives and how we want to improve and help our community. And I think I can do that. Really.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
Welcome.
Thank you, thank you. Think that covers. Yes, that covers everybody. Welcome to you all. Good to see the faces. And I look forward to working with everybody. Like I said, I've read a lot of resumes, a lot of talented people here, so thank you. First vice chair is not here at the moment. She was gonna go over direct committee assignments, so I'll do that myself. What we do as far as the committee assignments, we'll take a look at your background to see what your background is, and then what you requested as far as committees. And then we look at what committee needs there are. Some of our committees have been lacking some people, so we have to shift people around. So we'll take all that in consideration and then we'll make assignments. Also, we do an orientation of new members, which probably will be sometime next month. We'll try to coordinate it that get as many people on as possible. We often wait to September, but by then we get into what we're doing, so we're trying to do something in July, if it works for most people. Second Vice Chair, John Martin Green, will talk about attendance.
With respect to which, in accordance with Manhattan Community Board 9 bylaws, any board member who during a 12-month period incurs 5 unexcused absences, 7 excused absences, or a combined total of 7 absences, including no more than 4 unexcused absences, from scheduled monthly executive, general board, and committee meetings, whether those absences occur in one meeting category or across multiple categories, may be subject to automatic removal from the board. Is that clear?
Stop.
Good. And that's,
Oh, okay, great.
those are our
Like I said,
direct-
check the bylaws, it's in there. We try to work with people. Sometimes things happen in the family or medical issues. We try to work with you. There also a leave of absence that you can take if something comes up. So they said we need you here. Okay. And we have someone from Department of Sanitation who is going to give a report on the Empire bins. You might have seen them. We were the pilot district for the new garbage bins, just gray garbage bins you see on the street. And there's an update as far as that, and gentleman will give that now.
Juan Saldina, you're up.
Juan Saldino?
Yes, good evening. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so good evening, and thank you so much for allowing the department to make these 2 very important announcements. So as you know, stationary larger bins, and these are for, of course, to accommodate larger buildings and schools, only accessible with an access card, which is of course given to building personnel as far as staff members, and also the Department of Sanitation has access to these bins. So the upcoming announcements that we are reopening the opt-in period for buildings of 10 through 30 units, meaning now they can sign up starting July 1st. There will be a form available at that time period on our website from July 1st through July 31st. So we will be also out there reaching out to these building managers and owners, advising them of this opt-in period, and they can sign up for that bin to be installed in front of their property starting as of July 1st through the 31st. Now, the second half of my announcement is any building of that same size, 10 through 30, that decides they do not want the Empire bin, they will have to containerize. And I know now they currently have some containers, but they will be required to switch to the official NYC bin. And I'm sure you've heard a lot about that for 1 through 9 units. So these buildings will have to switch to those bins, but they do have until October 15th to do so. So they might be issued some warnings. It's just warnings advising them that they have to switch to the official bin if they decide not to opt in with the Empire bin. Of course, the Empire bin comes at no additional cost. And basically it's something that is a plus for the building management. And if they opt in, they get it. Installation should start, I believe it will be sometime later in the fall. But the opt-in period will be from July 1st through the 31st. And with that said, I can open it up to questions, any current concerns with the bins. Please feel free to ask.
And for any among us who might not be familiar, the Empire bins are part of a rat mitigation strategy that was initiated over the last couple of years and piloted in Community Board 9, around which there has been marked success. Is that correct, Juan?
Yes, precisely, yes.
Any questions regarding the presentation or Empire bins? Nope. Okay.
Or
Thank
I also
you.
have, well, one more thing to add. Next Thursday that we will have an info session. This will be next Thursday, the 25th at 6 p.m. You have to register via our website prior to that info session. And there you can ask away any questions that you might not have now, come that date. And for that info session, they will be, of course, informing you, but you can ask some questions there too. I just wanted to advise everyone about that. And thank you so much for listening, by the way.
Thank you.
And the website is, where can we find the website?
So you can Google it. Basically, you could use a simple Google Department of Sanitation, and then you'll get the link for our website. Once you go on there, you will have to navigate to containerization. So several step process. But once you're there, you can also see the images for the Empire bin. Click that, scroll down to the middle of that website, and you'll see the information for the info session. Once you click that link, it'll advise you to register for the info session.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, next item is my chair's report. It's in your package. I'll go through it quickly. Multicultural Festival, which is put on by one of our members, Joyce Adewume. I attended that last week, along with some other CB9 members. A great time was had by all. They have acts from all over the world, true melting pot type of performance. It was good. Great weather, good music and all. The next item on there is CCNY fencing. We had and gate here at 140th, and on the other end, I actually just met this afternoon with Anthony, who is hosting us this evening, talk about that and see what could be done. Several people in the community have approached me regarding the fencing there, and it's not well liked, to put it mildly, and we're still working on it. No conclusion has come at this point. I will continue my talks with Anthony to see what we can do to remove that from the area. Next item is Hudson River Sailing Club. There's a sailing club that's down on 26th Street. They also are up at Dykeman. Dykeman's marina has closed due to construction. They are trying to move to the pier at 125th Street. I met with them recently. I've talked to them on the phone, but I met with them recently, actually on a sailing trip with them to discuss bringing the sailing club up here. And their primary focus is young people. They service a lot of the schools down in 26th Street area. They also have special accommodations with people with special needs that they can sail as well. So we're hoping that they can bring it here. Now, as many of you know, and it's on our agenda for tonight, we have possibility of the ferry coming and the rocket, a Harlem rocket coming as well. So we hope we can accommodate all of those at the pier and make it a true success. Riverside Drive viaduct construction that goes from 158 to 152nd Street, which just covers 2 blocks of our district, but it affects the whole of Riverside Drive. There was a protest on last Saturday. I spoke at that, and that has been delayed 3 years now. And it's caused a lot of confusion there. One of the buildings in our district, members did come from that building about a year ago complaining about it. And there was an incident with a resident that need medical attention, and it was delayed. They say it was delayed because you can't go directly into the building, and the person did pass away. Can't blame it directly on that, but it surely didn't help. River Arts and River Terrace, which is further up, have the same complaints. You can't go directly in the building because of concrete barricades. So we had, I would say, about 50, 60 people that walked from 157th and Broadway down to Riverside, and several people spoke. A congressman, council member, myself, CB12 chair spoke as well. They also blocked access to the fire hydrants in emergencies and getting to the building. So we're trying to really pressure to get this changed. It's in court right now, which kind of slowed up everything, and we're hoping to move forward with it. In addition to that, the construction company put up temporary lighting for 158 to 153rd, and that's been out for at least a month now, which I say is dangerous. As I said in the beginning, we push back when necessary. When they first started construction, they eliminated 2 lanes, so now it's 1 lane in each direction with no double line down the middle originally. It wasn't until there was a head-on collision that they said, oh yeah, we need a double line, yellow line, so. We'll keep pushing that to see what we can do. I want to try and get our representative up to take a walk again. I did walk with the new commissioner when she first came on board to show her the inconvenience this has caused a lot of people. So we're going to keep pushing in that direction as well. On the back, you'll see Gatekeepers Collective. It was run by this gentleman who sits next to me. They recently had an event, Renaissance.
Harlem Renaissance.
Harlem Renaissance 2.0, honoring LGBTQ plus actors and artists with banners that are up on 125th Street. And what I say, it's commemorative, but it's also a learning thing. People, or young people in particular, might look at that and say, well, who is that? And then maybe somebody can explain it, or they'll research it themselves. So thank you, sir, for that. Good job. Welcome back to members who were up for appointment, including myself. There was a few members who did not get reappointed. We're not happy about that. That I have expressed that in a few places, and I'll keep expressing that. We know who works on this board. We're here to do the work every day. So I would think they would take the chair and other people on this board's message into consideration when those things are made. Even people who are not on the board who do work outside, we have lobbied for them, and that didn't work in many instances. So the fight's not over, trust me. So we're going to keep working on that. But welcome back to those who have been reappointed, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you. So moving on, next item is Treasurer's Report. Deidre McIntosh Brown.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, CB9. Thank you, Chair. Good evening and welcome to those our new CB9 members. The Treasurer's Report is in your packet. You will see the 2 green sheets. On the first sheet, you'll see what our funds, the funds that are available, those that are encumbered, our spending, majority of that's on supplies and cleaning services. And then on the second sheet, you will see a report of the discretionary funds, and you'll see things that we spend from the P card, as well as the discretionary funds. Things that we've spent on the float, buying a digital clock, our table cloths, which you see here, over there. So all the items listed are visible, and this is just a more transparent report. Are there any questions? That's Treasurer's Report. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is our District Manager, Yutha Prince.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome the new board members and introduce myself officially. I am your district manager. The district office is located at 3291 Broadway. We're open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. We have various committee meetings at the district office. You will get a schedule of all the meetings. My staff is at the info table. Ashley, if you could just raise your hand. Ashley Tapia is our community associate. Hakil Elliston. Is Hakil at the table? If you could raise your hand, I can't see with this folder. We're here to serve all your administrative needs. If you're in the area, please feel free to drop by, and if it's just to say hello. In addition to my report, which is included in your packet, I have a few announcements I'd like to share with you. The Central Park Conservancy is pleased to announce a new partnership between the Central Park Conservancy and the Unity Market New York to bring fresh food, cultural programming, and community engagement to Harlem. Beginning June 20th through and including October 31st, the Farmers Gate Farm stand will open every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the historic Farmers Gate entrance at 110th Street and Malcolm X Boulevard, overlooking the Harlem Mirror and adjacent to the new Davis Center. The farm stand will offer fresh, locally sourced produce, and they will accept SNAP and EBT eligible items for the card, seasonal prepared foods, curated household goods, and educational and community programming throughout the season. There's a flyer at the table if you'd like to share it with your neighbors and please take copies. Also, People's Money is currently open to all New Yorkers 11 years old and up. So 11-year-old residents have the opportunity to vote regardless of their immigration status. It is their chance to have a say in how part of the city budget gets spent in your borough. Voting ends on June 21st. Please visit the voting site at on.nyc.gov/PB. And there's also informational flyer on the information table. And the New York City Parks is beginning the design process for constructing the Riverbank Playground located on Riverside Drive and West 142nd Street.
Hallelujah.
Funding for the project was allocated by Councilmember Shawn Abreu. A construction community input meeting is scheduled virtually on June 25th at 6:30 p.m. Community residents are invited to share ideas and help shape improvements to the playground. Please help us spread the word and encourage others to participate so a wide range of voices can be heard. And if you can't attend the meeting, you can still submit your ideas through and including July 9th of this year using the event QR code on the flyer at the info table as well, and I have a copy here. So before you leave, there's a lot of items at the info table that we'd like for you to partake in and share with your neighbors. As the chair said, you are the eyes and ears of the community. And last but not least, Manhattanville Community Day will be taking place on June 27th. CB9 will be tabling at that event. It's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and it's on the campus, the Manhattanville campus of Columbia University, and that's 125th Street and Broadway. There's a flyer for that event. If you'd like to join me and help volunteering, tabling at that event, just reach me at the district office. And our telephone number is 646-355-3172. Yes, Tina? June 27th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's a Saturday. It's a great event.
Sure.
And I believe that covers everything. If you have any questions, again, I'm here and I could be reached at the district office. Thank you, and again, welcome to the new members.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Question.
Question.
You mentioned something about even people can vote on how the money is being spent within their community. Could you expound on that a bit?
It's called the People's Money, and it's through the Civic Engagement, CEC. The flyer explains exactly how the process runs. It's for residents in the district that are 11 years old to adults. And they have, if you go on the website, you put in your zip code and they'll put you exactly on the items that are to be voted on within your district. So you have to participate by going on the website.
Okay.
And it's on the flyer.
Question.
Yes,
Then you only vote one time?
yes. Well, I mean, you could encourage your neighbors
Okay.
that have the same interest to vote on the same item. I mean, sorry.
That's all right. Mr.
Oh, yes.
Question.
I was wondering if we came up with any decision with Gateway 151. I was asking the community board to set up some sort of event with them at the last year's meeting.
Is that the restaurant?
Yeah.
And, okay,
Yeah, because he said he's having very hard times right now, and we are a big group, and if we could contribute in any way, that would be very cool.
like to schedule an event there?
Yeah, he's very important for that part of the community. There's so many people going crazy with the bikes, and he brings music to the community, so we need to support him for him. So I'm asking again for us to set up a date for him to plan something.
I'm in agreement with that. We can set something up. You and I can talk and we can do something for sure. My suggestion before also was to gather all the parties, DOT, MTA, local elected officials to see how we can help as well. So,
We can do that in September, but in the meanwhile, we'll pass.
okay,
Summer soiree. Sounds fun.
that works. April's gonna plan a summer soiree.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Who likes to drink?
I have two other very important things I'd like to share with you. National Night Out Against Crime will be held on Tuesday, August 4th. Please contact your local precinct for event details. And also, work will begin on the 125th Street exit of the Henry Hudson Parkway. Facade work, to be exact, will begin in July. And we were told it will conclude sometime in October. I'm not sure. But it's work that's being conducted under the Amtrak tracks, which is the exit, the facade coming off the highway. We are currently working on having DOT and Amtrak join us for an update on the project. So stay tuned in the fall. We're looking to have them join us.
Okay. Also a heads up, my theater company, Blackberry Productions, is premiering a documentary called COP, C-O-P-P, which is an acronym for Communities Organizing for Partnership and Peace between Black and Brown Youth and Police, that we've been conducting in schools and community-based organizations over the last 5 years on Monday, June 29th. It had been scheduled to premiere at the Lenfest Auditorium at Columbia University. We've been given to understand this afternoon that the event will likely be moved to the atrium at the Forum, and we will apprise everyone accordingly as the new venue has been booked.
Thank you, sir. Next up, a report from West Harlem Development Corp. Pat Watler Johnson and Barry Weinberg. Is that mic on?
Microphone check. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our new members. We look forward to working with you. Also, I have to say happy Juneteenth and also go Knicks in 5. This is a wonderful day.
Knicks win in 5. Yeah.
I'm Pat Watler Johnson. This is Barry Weinberg, and both of us are serving as representatives to the West Harlem Development Corporation. Okay. And we both serve as representatives from CB9 to the West Harlem Development Corporation. Do you want to talk about WHDC, what it is?
Sure. For those who don't know, the West Harlem Development Corporation was formed originally as the West Harlem Local Development Corporation in 2007 to negotiate and effectuate a community benefits organization between Columbia University and the Development Corp on behalf of the community as a response to Columbia's partnership with the state to use eminent domain to seize property in Manhattanville and rezone Manhattanville for their new campus, the Manhattanville campus. So the Development Corp has stewardship over some of the community benefit funds and the in-kind community benefits that are in the CBA, and it makes grants to local community organizations and also invests what will eventually become a $20 million affordable housing fund upon the completion of the campus, but which right now currently has only received its first $10 million tranche of funding.
And as a result of our, the community benefits agreement that was created, the WHTC board has 2 seats that are allocated to representatives from CB9. I am one and Barry is the other. Just want to let you know all that for the new members that are here. The reason why we're both together, we want to talk about, there was in my report, you'll see that there was mention of the New Urban Resource Institute. proposal that was submitted to CB9. During our June 10th meeting, we received a copy of the proposal, which indicated that they wanted to receive a grant of about $250,000 in order to do pre-construction work for a development that's going to be. The information that we received was from 487 West 129th Street, but I see that in the minutes from that's the letter in the file indicates that there may be some changes to that. So I just wanted, I had barriers, since barriers at the meeting, I just wanted to ask if you wouldn't mind addressing that part.
Sure. So there's a history here, as there is with so many things in the neighborhood and in this board. The history is the two sites in question, one on 129th and one on 130th, that back up to each other between between Amsterdam and Convent Avenues, were the site of an industrial facility that led to significant soil contamination with oil and other products and had been vacant for many decades. Urban Resources Institute, which is a nonprofit that focuses on services for families emerging from and escaping domestic violence, purchased the land, which was privately owned, for $10 million, and originally came to the board with a fair share report analysis, which is the first time in my memory we've ever seen someone actually complete that requirement, because they were planning on building transitional housing on 130th Street. So for homeless families with children who are, looking for a place to live. And then on 129th Street, building a permanent housing facility that would be a mix of supportive housing and affordable housing. As you can, so in your packet is a 2025 letter of support that the community board passed. I don't see one for tonight, but the mix of the original building had 7 2-bedrooms, 28 1-bedrooms, and 67 studios on 129th Street permanent housing. And the community board granted them their letter of support for DHS, but requested that they consider building a larger building that is much more heavily skewed toward 2-bedroom apartments and 1-bedroom apartments and less studios, because we wanted more affordable housing. And so URI, in working with the community board and responding to our requests, and now with the passage of charter revisions and City of Yes zoning text amendments, has come up with a proposal for a larger building that has 59 2-bedroom units and 55 1-bedroom units. So they significantly increase the affordable housing component and the family unit size at our request. So I think the letter of support that was going to be for tonight was they have applied to the West Harlem Development Corp's Affordable Housing Fund to ask for reimbursement of expenses for pre-development costs. So these are soft costs like like architecture, design, planning, et cetera. And the Development Corp takes very seriously community board's perspective on these things, which is why, we had asked them to get a letter of support again from the community board for this proposed change that they made in response to the community board's original request. So that's a long history. I apologize for taking so long to explain it, but it is what it is. Things are complicated. So they have approached the Development Corp with a request for this reimbursement. The Development Corp is looking to the community board to see what its position is. And this would be the first significant use of the Affordable Housing Development Fund since its use on the Marcus Garvey projects in CB10, which we were unhappy about, and in financing some purchases of apartments by tenants converting to HJC co-op shareholders. So those are the previous uses of the fund. It actually now stands at, I think, a little over $11 million because they've received a return on some of their money that they invested in affordable housing. But this would be in a non-investment $250,000 grant for the reimbursement of design costs for the larger building that the board requested.
And it was originally $20 million in the CBA.
And so we are $10 million is being held at HPD until the completion of the issuance of a temporary certificate of occupancy for one of the last parcels in the Manhattanville campus plan. So when Columbia finishes their building is when we get that money that is currently held at HPD. And we are engaging in discussions with HPD to attempt to get them to release that money earlier. But discussions, only, so.
Question. Is that reimbursement that they're asking for, is that because they want to redesign? Is, well, they want to change the original design because they built it, I'm not clear about.
So their original design only had 7 2-bedroom units and 67 studios.
Right.
The community board asked them to change that design. And so they did by adding like 52 more 2-bedroom, like they multiplied the number of 2 bedrooms by like 7 or 8. And then, and, you know, are complying with our request. So they've asked to help defray some of the costs of complying with our request by money from the WHTC Affordable Housing Fund.
That's good, very good, very good.
Walter?
Yes, did part of that $10 million include the environmental cleanup of the site? Because if they had.
No, they spent additional, well, okay, so as part of the site development, they completely excavated and remediated the soil contamination. So they filed safety plans with the board and with the Department of Environmental Protection. And they, I mean, essentially removed all of the contaminated soil, which is another benefit of the project. Now we don't have, you know, soil contaminated with lead and oil and other, you know, fuel, whatever else was in that soil. So that part has been completed. The soil remediation is done. And I'm sure they got public financing for it, but they spent the 10 million just to acquire the land.
Question.
Okay, thank you.
I have one question on that land, that's the question, contamination. They removed the soil. Did they, what did they remove that, they put landfill in, or what happened with that? Did they secure it?
It's my understanding they excavated down to the bedrock, which is just non-porous rock.
Yes.
And then laid a foundation.
Thank you. The reason why I asked Barry to come, of course, not in addition to acknowledging anything else, is because I wanted to emphasize the information here is correct. It's not that we're trying to negate anything that's been written here. We received the meeting took place on the Housing Land Use Committee meeting took place June 9th. We got the proposal June 10th, which was the day of our meeting. So we had a chance, now we have to have a chance to review it, and we'll probably discuss it at the next meeting. If there are any changes or anything, I'm hoping that we'll know by then. So if there's anything that we have to discuss for for our next meeting. But we'll see.
Yeah, we have an updated letter.
Okay.
There's some stuff we have to get from them.
Okay.
But we have an update.
Yeah, and then when you get it to WHCC, they'll get it to us, and then we'll be able to discuss it.
Yep.
Thank you. And let me also say, while we mentioned WHCC, I have to acknowledge that while Barry and I are representatives, one of our esteemed board members, Mr. Ted Kovalev, or Dr. Ted Kovalev, I should say, is also a member of the board. Hi, Ted.
And I want to say thank you both for your help on this wonderful opportunity for us.
And thank you, Ted, for all that you do and all the advice that you provide to us. You're very valuable and we appreciate you. So, let me see. I'll run through the rest of it. I know they want to get through the rest of the meeting. Let me see, we had that. There was, let me see, the grant writer position is still open. We'll be having more information as soon as we, can provide it to you. The community board benefit grants, the application period closed on June 5th, and more information will be, provided as it is made available. In terms of activities in the community, Judge Tingling, the board chair, the Honorable Milton Tingling was among the honorees at a Father's Day celebration hosted by Ninth Council District Councilperson, Dr. Yusef Salam, for his first Father's Day Toast to the Most celebration. The honorees were the Honorable Keith Wright, Dr. David Banks, Londell Davis Sr., of course, the Judge Tingling, John Massey, former Lieutenant Governor Brian Benjamin, Kendall Sittaberry, and Maurice Clayton. And it was a wonderful event, and I think it was held at Melba's in Harlem. So congratulations to everyone who was a part of that. The New York City Multicultural Fair is going to be held this coming Saturday, June 20th, from 12 noon to 6 p.m. on St. Nicholas Avenue between 141st and 145th Street. And the founder and president of that event is our beloved Joyce Adewumi. Joyce, where are you?
Who had a billboard in Times Square saying Harlem welcomes the world, so, for this event.
And I'd also like to mention, I had the honor of attending an event at the Northern Manhattan Arts Alliance with Joyce Adewumi was honored for her work in the arts community, as well as Michael Palmer Mir, Myra Linares Garcia, Reynaldo Garcia Pantalon, and the Mars Jamel Mansion for their role in the arts. And so thank you, Joyce, for all that you do and continue to be proud of the. And I also included information about Blackberry Productions documentary cop. So thank you so much for I don't have to comment on it now because you did such a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Thank you. And also last but not least, there's going to be a street naming and exhibition honoring Dr. Marilu Maria D. Galvan. It's going to be on Saturday, June 20th. The reception, let me see, the exhibition part will be from 11:30. Okay, I'm sorry, from 10:30 to 11:15 at El Centro. And it's going to be in honor of Dr. Galvan. And the street naming is going to be held on Saturday, June, from 11:30 a.m. until 12:30 at the entrance of Denny Farrell Riverbank State Park, which is 145th Street and Riverside Drive. Just as a brief background, Dr. Galvan was a leader in the community. Born in the Dominican Republic, she lived a life of incredible achievements and meaningful impact as a leader, educator, and advocate who devoted almost her entire career in education and empowering the Dominican community in New York City. As a graduate of and later an adjunct professor at Brooklyn Law School, her long list of career achievements, including serving as a CUNY adjunct professor, Department of Latin America and Latinx Studies at John Jay College, a founding member of the Dominican Bar Association, and director of Centro Civico Cultural Dominicano, empowering and young adults to play active roles in the community. If you'd like more information about that event, please contact Councilman Sean Abreu's office at 212-928-6814. Are there any questions?
I have one note. Those, I will very briefly, just for new members, note that earlier in this year, we had a briefing about the future of the WHDC. So for those who don't know, the funds that Columbia has committed to give in the CBA to be distributed through the Development Corp have finished. So any of the money that Columbia is going to give for those grants or other operations has been given. The only money left is that $10 million half of the Affordable Housing Fund. So at its present course of action, in the absence of any new funding sources, the Development Corp is roughly spending down over a 9-year horizon. So just be aware of that when thinking about the Development Corp and the role it plays.
Thank you. Yeah, the money ended in 2024, so, yes, sir.
I remember that briefing that some of the money was set aside and invested, that there is a separate fund will be available.
So most of the money held is invested in some form or another, whether that's in saving accounts or money markets for mutual funds, et cetera, bond funds. So that money has actually grown quite substantially over the years. So, the Development Corp will have given out more money than it took in because of that investment strategy. But the rate of return from the investment is not enough to cover the disbursements that go out every year. So there will be a declining balance in those funds over time, over roughly a 9 or 10 year period.
But those funds are in addition to the 20 billion.
They are in addition to and separate from. So 20 million, 11 that we have now and 10 held at HPD are for affordable housing only. The other, I forget what
It
we're
was
at.
76 million in cash.
Ted, do you want to address that as well? He's the chair of the investment committee.
Well, let me say specifically, we got from Columbia on a yearly basis an amount of monies that we used in part, but not in toto, to grant to the various worthy local institutions. Now, the problem is that at this juncture, Columbia's monies are no longer coming in. You heard earlier that we had been seeking a grant writer. And we received probably nearly 100 applications. Unfortunately, none of them worked for us. And so we're going back and asking again for people who are interested, who have the qualifications, etc., to help us get grants so that we can continue what we want to do. And that what we want to do is a very simple thing. We want to ensure that the various programs that we have done and other ones can be out there to benefit the community. And I'll be happy to answer any other questions.
Question was about the investments that were made. And the investments that were made that would like, where the question is, what is the interest rate that they will yield in order to reapply to the community? Excuse me.
That's a good question. And unfortunately, as you know, interest rates have gone down. And so unless we were to involve ourselves in investments that were more dangerous, we would have had to look at numbers that came in at a lower rate.
Can I suggest that maybe we have like a briefing on the WHTC for the new members at the orientation and then kind of like set aside this for tonight?
Good idea.
Be happy to.
Unanimous consent.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Darren.
Thank you both. Thank you. Next up, Morningside Heights Community Coalition. Michael Gross, thank you.
Hey everyone, good evening. My name is Michael. I'm a board member of the Morningside Heights Community Coalition. Just a few short updates from us. And just for folks that are new as well, we're a community advocacy organization in Morningside Heights, also a WHTC grant recipient. And we do a lot of advocacy organizing on affordable housing, supporting small businesses in Morningside Heights, and opening the gates at Columbia University, especially at the moment. So we had a really lovely community solutions forum last weekend. I want to thank you guys all who were able to come. And yeah, had some really wonderful panels, a resource fair for all the folks in Morningside Heights, and a really wonderful discussion about economic development in Morningside Heights and supporting social enterprise. And so yeah, as far as any further updates, we're continuing to make sure that the elevators at the 125th Street subway station get built, and are continuing our advocacy with Columbia to get the gates to open on both sides of 116th Street. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you, Michael.
One question.
Question? Yes.
What is the status of getting the gates open? I know we should only at the time.
Unfortunately, Columbia does tend to, in my opinion, shift the goalposts on this a little bit and give a different answer for why they're keeping the gates closed. A lot of what they say, tends to center around, student concerns for safety, some faculty concerns for safety. You know, obviously I think it's BS, but, that's what they say.
Reopening gates, not open the gates.
Reopening.
It's reopening the gates, yeah.
Cameron?
You brought up that the Columbia Student Senate has like overwhelmingly voted to reopen the gates as well.
Yes, and you know, there was some talk at some point about doing, you know, a community survey to show the overwhelming support within not just Morningside Heights, but this entire community district for reopening the gates. You know, I think it's fairly obvious that there's overwhelming support for this. Again, this is what Columbia says, so that's where we are.
Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah, we wanna thank you for the apartments that you opened up for the community. It's so important for us.
Here, here.
And like, you send it to people and they tell you, how is this legal, how is this real? So that's just a lot about what you're contributing. When are they going to release more apartments?
So, yeah, just a little bit of background on this. We worked with Columbia to make 12 of their vacant apartments available to the community that would normally go to students. And they were made available to the community through affordable rent stabilized leases that we were pretty happy to have them follow through on. That's an open question that we're gonna keep asking Columbia. I think it's a really important project, and we know that Columbia has a lot of other vacant apartments, not just in Morningside Heights, but in other neighborhoods as well. So,
Thank you.
all right, thanks, guys.
Thanks. Next up, Manhattan Borough President's Office, now, well.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Glad to see everyone made it safe and sound from the Knicks parade. I wish I could look like Monique right now, but you know, I was not able to make
I
it.
look good, you don't know how I feel.
Well, you look good. I like those glasses.
Thank you.
All right, so I'll just have a few remarks from our office. Okay. Well, an exciting time for Manhattan today. President Holman joined Mayor Mamdani and leaders from across the city for the Knicks Victory Parade and celebration at City Hall. Last week, Brad proclaimed June 11th, 2026 as OG and Anubi Appreciation Day, in case y'all didn't know. Right?
Yeah.
Bear with me. We're proud to announce that, the office is forming the first ever Manhattan Tenants Union, led by the new Director of Borough Organizing, Alejandro Cordial. Many tenants don't know their rights or that they have a landlord with hundreds of other renters across the borough. So it will be stationed out of our Northern Manhattan office, which is on 125, right across the street from Grand Houses. So please stop by and get some more information and talk to Alejandro Cordial if you have any questions when it comes to tenant organizing. On top of the tenant organizing, also at our Northern Manhattan office, we will be opening up an immigrant welcome center. The center will serve as a trusted walk-in resource for legal referrals, multilingual benefits, navigation, know your rights materials, tenant protections, and more. Last week, Mount Sinai, we learned that Mount Sinai was planning to begin turning over the private confidential medical records of trans children and their care to the Trump administration. This is outrageous, violation of patient trust, and potentially illegal under New York's SHIELD law. We joined Councilmember Carl Wilson and Dawn Gabriel, the parent of a trans child receiving care at Mount Sinai, to urge the hospital to work with Attorney General Letitia James to fight back against this federal overreach. Right? All right, this month, the office celebrated an Eid al-Adha, celebration with Muslim volunteers for New York. Also, a Jewish Heritage Month celebration under the comptroller. A Pride celebration with the Whitney Museum, providing complimentary tickets through the Whitney's free Friday night programs. And our first Manhattan Borough Book Club with author Russell Shortall and borough historian Harold Holzer, where we discussed the island at the center of the world, the epic story of Dutch Manhattan and the forgotten colony that shaped America. Stay tuned for our next book coming up this month. All right, and also as well, we have a little bit more events coming up. We have some watch parties that we are hosting. And I'll make sure to get that information to you, Yuka, as well. And want to welcome all the new CB members as well. You know, myself along with Victor went over the process, read lots of applications, had lots of meetings. And while I do share some of the sentiments that the chair also has, I'm also looking very forward to working with our new members. If y'all have any questions, please reach out to me. You can reach out to me at email nilesrobinson@manhattanbp.nyc.gov. All right. All right, I just took off my borough president hat. I hope everyone is out to vote. It has been early voting, and I hope that you make the right decision. Yes, sir.
Any update on the number of tickets that are gonna be made available, affordable tickets that is, to the World Cup final? Specifically for CB9 residents?
Okay, let me put my borough president hat on. No, I do not have it. I checked. It was a very, very small number. I would say maybe like 100 affordable tickets were actually released to the public.
Is that overall or?
Yes, that is just overall. It's like a raffle lottery system, if I'm not mistaken.
Do a little bit better, just a little bit?
Listen, the city right now is on fire and, you know, hopefully we can all get to some watch parties if you're not able to attend the actual games in person. But I will definitely ask and get a more specific answer.
Because it's a historic event and we're playing a very large part in hosting the tours from all around the world. I feel the very least that could be done to return the favor would be to make some tickets available on an affordable basis, because tens of thousands of dollars, it's beyond.
So our watch parties will be held at the United Palace uptown, and then we also have one that's being hosted in Central Park as well. That I know is something that is going to be open and free to the public. So, but as far as the actual games.
In the meantime, you can take back Mr. Honorable Jimenez's message.
I will, no problem.
Thank you.
Yes, David?
Yeah, hey, Niall. You made reference to the appointments as borough president to CB9. And without putting you into a comfortable position, I'm wondering whether you have any insights as to why there were 4 applicants who were unquestionably some of the most highly rated applicants to apply to the board. Some of whom had been on the board for decades and had incredibly important institutional knowledge and expertise. Why those people were not appointed, on what basis the borough president determined not to appoint those individuals?
Well, while I do not have a specific answer to your question, one thing I can assure you, David, is that there was a lot of deliberation and questions going back and forth, not only from myself, but from the chair as well. I personally I'm not at liberty to share why a lot of those decisions were made. But rest assured, if you would like to express your sentiments, please let me know. And I will definitely take it back to our
I
office.
would definitely like to express those sentiments, and I think almost everybody.
Yes.
But I think the real issue, and I understand you're acting as an intermediary between the borough president. We'd like to know the answer. I get it, you're not at liberty to discuss this now. But at some point, it seems to me that the borough president really ought to explain those decisions. We would like to know, and I think we deserve to know, quite frankly.
The borough president is accountable to us.
May I just add to that as well, that the borough president can make himself available to us as we have made ourselves available to him. And just explain why members who have taken criticisms with him or his actions have been not renewed to that word.
Or some of the council members.
So, David, just for clarity, I've asked for a meeting with the borough president regarding this particular issue through Niles. I'm hoping that will happen. It probably would have happened today. That's normally when we meet, the third Thursday of the month. All the chairs meet with the borough president, but because of the parade, it was canceled. Next Thursday, we'll be meeting with the VP. If he's there, I will sit down and have that conversation. I have talked about this with several people at the VP's office and above to let's see if we can get this straightened out and get an answer and make it right. I've said that there's people in this community that have worked tirelessly off the board and need to be back on the board to make this really work. So as soon as I get an answer, I will definitely bring that to you as well. I feel the same way you do, trust me.
May I add? I think we have spots still, correct?
Yes, we do.
Okay. On the board to bring people on.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Niles.
Anybody else with any more questions?
Yeah, I think he needs to come here, visit. He came the day he got elected and then he didn't go back. But the last man had more president, when we asked him what his criteria was to pick people or dismiss people, he never came back. So we will see.
I will take that up with him as well, trust me. Thanks, Niles. We have to move forward.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, next we're going into
Public session.
public session.
First up, we have what looks like Andres Orejuela. Andrea. 3 minutes.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm Andres Orejuela, and I've been a participant of this board since 2014. This cycle, I applied for full membership, was interviewed, and was not appointed. I'm raising this because of what the board has already shown it can do since I've been participating. When 1727 Amsterdam Avenue came before us, this board didn't just object, it built. For 1727, we put forward an alternative plan almost immediately, a plan that delivers more units, more family-size apartments, and 25,000 square feet more of community space on the same city-owned land. Barry mentioned this earlier. For a project on 129th Street that the board reviewed in 2024, I was there, we saw a project this month transform from having 7 two-bedroom units to 59 of them, a boon for families in the area. For HDFCs, we organized a forum in Spanish and in English that included over 45 affordable co-ops in 2016. I know Sydney remembers that. That's what this board is for. It's not to rubber stamp. It's not to obstruct. It's not to stonewall the people in the community, but to improve through collaboration, experiences, and a hard look at the questions before us. On 1727, we instead began a bitter land use battle. Much of that is on Councilmember Abreu and former Councilmember Mark Levine, whose handling of the project turned disagreement into something petty and personal. It's the same style of politics we're watching play out right now in Congressman Espaillat's primary, where attacking opponents in personal terms has replaced the work of representing district constituents. That style of politics doesn't build housing faster. It doesn't make boards any better. It teaches people that disagreement is a threat instead of an input. I'd ask this board and the officials who appoint and oversee it to remember what has actually worked. People in this room
disagreeing in good faith and building something better together. That's the model. Removing or obstructing people who disagree with you is the wrong approach, and working with them is the only approach that's actually worked for the community. Thank you, and go next.
Next up, we have BHC. What is your name? Hi, JM. Hola.
Good evening, everyone. Are we awake now? I didn't even drink coffee today, so I'll wake it up. So first I want to say thank you to Community Board 9 for being amazing at all times, an amazing partnership. I want to just clap for you guys. Always responsive. I love you guys so much. So the reason I'm here today, again, my name is Hank Sanchez. I'm Director of Housing for Broadway Housing Communities. I've been in this community forever. My family certainly has been here 49 years. I live on 145th Street. I also wear two hats. I'm also a co-member of the 695 Tenant Association of 145th Street. So I'm here today to make sure you guys know what's happening July 28th this year. But does anyone know what happened July 28th of 1917?
I was born.
Whoa, oh. Well, let me tell you, the 1917 Silent Parade, the first one ever took place. So this July 28th, we're gonna be paying tribute to that original march by hosting the Children's Justice March for Justice. It'll be our second one. The first one happened before COVID in 2019, and we hope to continue the tradition, but COVID happened. So we're just picking up where we left off this year. Community Board 9, along with the West Harlem Coalition, the District Attorney's Office, making it through, WHDC are going to be partnering with us through this march on the 28th. So I did leave a flyer with a QR scan and more information on what happened on July 28th of 1917 and what happened after and where we are now. Why are we marching? Well, we don't have to say aloud. We know what's happening out here, but the children are still here and they still have rights. We're marching for housing justice, affordable housing, true affordable housing. We're also marching for quality education. We're marching for the cultural arts. We want to make sure that our children are the lead, and we're all going to be wearing white, just in the tradition of the original march. So please get your white ensembles out and ready and come join us. Make sure you scan the QR scan to register. If you're part of a group that wants to walk with us with your banner, please let us know. We'll definitely add you to the list. Any questions?
What
The
does
route?
DHC stand for?
Say it again?
What does DHC stand for?
Broadway Housing Communities, and we have been around for 40+ years in this community. We have across 334 units. We are supportive, affordable housing, and we do true supportive housing in the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is Barry Weinberg.
I'm done.
Barry's done. Thank you, Barry.
I'm out of airtime.
And Honorable Alexander Jimenez.
Good evening, champs and pie.
Yes.
To wrap up another year of tenure, I want to first of all thank you all for your spirited discussions, flagging issues of communal import, and to some of our esteemed members, the diligent effort to remember that my first name is in fact Alexander and not Abraham. For some of us, it's been an 11-month-long battle, but we just about got there. Got 3 issues I wanted to discuss. First of all, healthcare coverage. And here I'm not even talking about healthcare coverage as far as adults are concerned. I am conceding that for some reason, we should not, of course, concede that adults are unworthy of healthcare in our state for the time being. Children are a very different, separate issue altogether. And that's where I think a bright red line should be drawn. As things stand, in a household of 3, and here I mean 2 adults and 1 minor, $109,000 per year of income, joint income between you and your partner and or cohabitant stands to be a cap that signifies that you earn too much for your child's health care to be subsidized with but $1. So this is something that has to be changed. And ideally, there wouldn't be any limit whatsoever. But when it comes to children, I think at least 350,000 for a family of three would be a minimum, because, you know, while many of us don't make anywhere near that much, it's in all truth not that much for many others. And to ensure that each and every child is cared for equally in our state, city, and district, that is a proposition that we're going to have to work on more seriously when it comes up, when we reconvene in September. Issue number 2 has been my trademark issue, and that is implementing an elective in-person work tax. Those who burden the resource are typically the designated as the primary parties and entities that are responsible for financing it. When it comes to elective in-person work, corporations and businesses burden, number 1, workers, us, with 15 hours of additional work, whether it be commuting to work or getting ready to show up in person, public transit, the environment, and child supervision resources and costs. One thing that I've long suggested and continue to suggest is to implement and levy an elective in-person work tax, whereby businesses with 3 or more non-essential employees are required to, number 1, pay an elective in-person work tax, and number 2, to pay 3 hours of additional labor for the luxury of demanding commute from and to work. Lastly, issue number 3, statute of limitations and time-barred claims. Now, for any type of claim, be it court adjudicated and or agency adjudicated, there is a time limit within which such claim must be brought. And that is then as a statute of limitations or the time period within which you must submit a claim. I'll conclude in a couple seconds. Perhaps unsurprisingly, the authors of our laws and codes have codified them in ways that clearly favor those who govern and their donor class, at the expense of the average New Yorker. Whereas corporations, businesses, and the government have vastly greater resources than the average New Yorker, it bears mentioning that administrative appeals must be brought within a month or 2. Municipal lawsuits, a year and 90 days. Article 78 challenges 4 months. On the other hand, and in contrast, a breach of contract claim, you've got 6 years. Actions involving state-owned property, 20 years. Enforcement of money judgments, 20 years, and odometer fraud, 2 years. All that I ask here is that that is unreasonable, and for us to reconsider the statute of limitation periods that are relevant to our committees, and to think about how we, a more equitable time frame when it comes to statute of limitations time periods that are germane to our line of work. Thank you all very much. And for that one person who's going to come to me after this and say, "Great speech, Abraham. You've been nothing but, consistent." Verbal cues don't work. I'll wrap up with measure 1. Okay.
That's a great name.
And next up online, we have Montoya Clemens. Are you there, Montoya?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good evening. My name is Montoya Clemens, CB9 resident, and I want to discuss the New York City Noise Code and existing Department of Environmental Protection policy. Now, relentless dog barking, whining, and howling just to be let back in the owner's house makes having peace of mind in one's own home impossible 24/7. And present-day rules prove more headache than solution. Now, DEP requires a complete address despite NYC buildings having no unit numbers outside, as in the backyard of a 4-story brownstone in CB9. Now, DEP also considers New York City Noise Code violation as barking continuously 10+ minutes between 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. and 5+ minutes 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. Now, no animal can go 5 minutes straight making noise without going hoarse. How are people 10 stories up windows closed, and AC on high, not going to be awakened and kept awake at 1 a.m., stop, 1:02 a.m., stop, 1:07 a.m., you get the picture, with the clock resetting each time. Now, a backyard with no other access unless by parachute, when a door ajar or wait by the door is easy and considerate. This past week's heat wave, this carried on for over an hour in the peak of day. Whatever the owner's intent is not working and veering toward cruelty with the heat indexes up near 100. Now, victims using legal online methods to find a unit number, the DEP responds by providing the owner literature to curb barking minus a structured response based upon the complaint as wanting to be let in the house. Yet victims are asked to cooperate and give 6 weeks before filing another complaint. Now, I asked the community board to form a committee because this cannot be considered being handled. This is not a background tone. It is an invasive barrage that penetrates windows, closed doors, and heard in every room. It makes the see something, say something hollow and selective based upon the reporting selection and situation. So I'm asking that someone at this community board either finds a solution or forms a committee to help. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can you put your information in the chat, sir? We can contact you.
And can we, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I
Next
will.
up,
Thank you.
thank you. Next up, we bring to the fore our own Joyce Adewumi with the New York African Chorus Ensemble.
Thank you so much. This is the closest I could come to the colors of the Knicks. So I want to thank WHDC, all the elected officials, including Barry, who has supported us. Barry wrote a grant for us once. Also Ms. Reverend Morgan Thomas, who advised us to come to 100 St. Nicholas Avenue between 141st and 145th. So my name is Joyce Adewumi. I am the president of New York African Chorus Ensemble. The New York City Multicultural Festival came about because the NYPD, we're looking for a program that would help to bring together the various diverse cultural groups in New York City and also help to foster better relationship between the police and civilians. So I came up with that idea. And since that time, this festival has provided free opportunity for low-income families to watch world-class performers. We have assisted small businesses, and we do this every year, small businesses by providing free tables, chairs, and tents, what we can afford. The performers are also paid, and volunteers are paid as well. This time around, we were able to, this is the second year, we were able to get funding to put a billboard in Times Square. And because Times Square and Bryant Park, and because of our tourists coming into New York City, we wanted to let them know that Harlem was a welcoming tourist destination. Another thing that we've been able to do was to have meaningful partnerships. During this time when the festival is going on, there are many people who don't even know about the Hamilton Grange up at the hill. So we're partnering with Hamilton Grange to offer tours. Also, not only to the Hamilton Grange, but also HSA. So we're partnering with all our partners on that street to utilize the opportunity of having a lot of people there, to promote the programs that they have and have more students coming to their schools.
So on Saturday, when we will be on St. Nicholas Avenue, we have a VIP table. And 5 chairs have been reserved for CB9 members. I know one chair is going to Miss Dunn. And so there remains 4 chairs. So, but you have to be there by 12 o'clock. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next up, we have an appeal for a street naming for Orsby Butch Roten.
How we're going on that? Hey, how's it going? This is what.
Hey, good evening. My name is James Roten. I am on from Village 5 Amsterdam Avenue. I currently live in Inglewood, New Jersey. Ty was at the New York Sports. Celebrate the Knicks. With that being said, I am here advocating for my father, Orsby Butch Roten. So, some of my phone. Good evening, Chair and members of the board. My name is James Roten. I'm here today respectfully requesting your support for a street co-naming in honor of my father, Orsby Butch Roten, who's been in the community or was his passing since one of the first residents of Grant Housing, since like the 60s, I think, and one of the first families. Of course, my father was a dedicated advocate for residents of Grant Housing and a consistent voice for those whose concerns often went unheard. He spent years working to improve living conditions, bringing attention to the lack of services, and standing up for the needs of the community. He was not someone who sought recognition, but someone who showed up again and again for his neighbors. Whether it was organizing residents, speaking out publicly, or working to hold systems accountable, his efforts made a real and lasting impact. His advocacy was even recognized publicly, including media coverage that highlighted his work and commitment to improving conditions for Grant residents. That would be Channel 11, WPIX News, he was featured on. This request is not just coming from me as his son, it's supported by the community. We have received support from the Councilmember Sean Abreu. Excuse me if I chopped up the name. The Grant Housing Tenant Association leadership and over 200, close to 300 signatures from community members who signed in support of this co-naming. I have almost 300 signatures here from the members of Grant Housing. A street co-naming would not only honor my father's legacy, but also serve as a lasting reminder of the importance of community advocating services, and standing up for others. I respectfully ask for your consideration and support in recognizing his contributions in this meaningful way. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I'm not. That would be 120, no, Amsterdam Avenue in LaSalle. That's across the street from Met Supermarket. If you're familiar with the area, there is a fire hydrant and a traffic signal over there in that area. So that's Amsterdam
and LaSalle.
Across from that public school.
Yeah, across the street from if you're familiar with the area, from Met Supermarket.
Yeah.
And from Met Supermarket. And if you look across from there, there's a fire hydrant and a traffic signal center. And right over there on the same side of the campus, where we're going out. No, it's not co-signed after nobody.
I live in Morningside Gardens.
Okay. Any other questions?
Great. Thank you, sir.
And if you look at TV1, uncensored, the Shalites, my father is also featured on there. It's one of the background dancers.
Oh.
I wish I had a picture of him, maybe somebody from the area probably would be familiar with. Is there any other questions?
This was for application, which episode of TV1?
Shallite episode. Uncensored Shallite. Yeah, Shallite episode, uncensored Shallite.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And last but not least is PFBL Scholarship Fund Incorporated regarding an award ceremony.
Good evening. My name is Melvin Pratt. I'm here representing the PFBL Scholarship Fund Award Ceremony. I would like to invite any student from Community Board 9 to attend our upcoming award ceremony that might be interested in the medical field. It's going to be held Sunday, August 23rd, 2026, from 1:30 p.m. to 5 at the Adam Clayton Powell State Office Building Art Gallery. Our special guest speaker is Jamaji Interim, MD, Professor of Emergency Medicine at the Perelman School of Medicine, University of Pennsylvania. He'll be there for the duration, and he'll have a Q&A session for the students attending that are interested in the medical field. That's it. I have nothing further.
You have a flyer.
Yes, I did have a flyer.
It's on the table.
I'll give it out.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And he sent us the flyer.
Thank you, sir.
That's it.
Okay. All right, that ends public session, and we will go into elected officials. First up is Sean Abreu's office. Gabriella, you're on the line.
Hi, everyone. Yes, I am on the line. Hopefully you guys can see and hear me today. So first I want to start off by wishing everyone a happy early Juneteenth. I also do want to take a second to welcome all of the new members and introduce myself. I am Gabriela Carela, and I serve as Majority Leader Sean Abreu's District Director / Director of Constituent Services. For those who are new here, my email is gcarela, so first initial GCARELA @council.nyc.gov. And our district number is 212-928-6814. Now on to the news. Yesterday, the Council's Consumer and Worker Protection Committee heard Majority Leader Abreu's bill to ban dynamic pricing. This is one step closer to securing a protection against a new threat to New Yorkers already stretched thin grocery budgets. It would prevent the rapid changing of grocery store prices so that egg prices can't be spiked for rush hour demand, or the price of milk changing between the shelf and the cash register through the use of electronic shelf labels, for example. The other weekend, we hosted a free shredding event at 3333 Broadway. The next one will be on 104th Street and Manhattan Avenue on Sunday, June 28th. So I do want to emphasize that is 10 days away from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We have flyers to share that I have sent over to the board and have also posted it on our website under upcoming events. Keep an eye out for the link NYC kiosk, where we also post upcoming event info as well as our e-newsletter. So if you're not registered or signed up for our e-newsletters, you can always go on the New York City Council website and register. It's a good way to stay sort of in the know of what events are happening in the district. We will be hosting, as has already been mentioned, a street co-naming ceremony on the corner of West 145th Street and Riverside Drive for the late Dr. Marilu Galvan. We invite the community to come. It will be this Saturday, June 20th at 11:30 a.m. One other thing that I wanted to emphasize, because the deadline is approaching, is the city's new free 2K program. It is available to residents of Hamilton Heights and parts of Manhattanville. Applications are open until June 26th. If people need help applying, they can reach out to our office for assistance. On that note, I wanted to sort of make a whole event around the 2K so that we could have folks come in on one set day. But I did want to also take advantage of the time to tell you guys that we are planning to move offices like in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So our current office is a little bit of a mess. So what I will have is have our interns, some of our summer interns, come out on Tuesday of next week to flyer for 2K. So if you see them around, say hello. And that is all I have to report today. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you so much. Question?
Yeah, where's the new district office gonna be? Hi, Gabrielle.
Hi, it's going to be two streets down. And once we, fingers crossed, have a lease signed, we will be putting it in our e-newsletter. It's like 85% complete the process, but it is a rigorous process to be able to get the council to approve everything. So that's why it's taking a little bit longer, but God willing, we will be moving for July. And when that's like official and signed, I will definitely share that address with everyone. But I wanted to give everyone a heads up because I also realized that I am telling folks that they can come to the office if they need help with 2K stuff, which they definitely can. I just didn't sort of like create a whole event around it because of the office situation and how how messy everything is in the office right now. But I look forward to seeing some folks, and I do look forward to sharing that new address once we have it.
Awesome. And my last point, we have a resolution coming up tonight about the getaway at 151st and Riverside. I'm sure y'all are familiar with this establishment. It's a concession to the Parks Department. But we are going to be asking for a walkthrough with the council member, the Manhattan Borough president, like a bunch of folks, because this particular establishment is being plagued by a lot of city and state issues with like the MTA, DOT, DSNY. So we would love for everyone to get to coalesce together over the summer and figure out some solutions for this establishment. So thank you in advance for that.
You're welcome. Definitely send our way.
Any other questions? Thank you, Gabrielle.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys.
All right. Next up from Councilmember Youssef Salam's office, Francetta.
Francetta Collymore. Unmute yourself.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Like I said, I put on the chat, the council member in our office wanted to thank everyone who attended our roundtable. It was a great success, and we look forward to having more in the near future for the nonprofits. And we joined up with the mayor's office, so it was a great success. So I want to thank everybody and happy Juneteenth.
Great, thank you so much. Any questions for Councilmember Youssef Salam's office? Okay, thank you. Are there any other elected officials, representatives, or elected officials themselves online? Okay. Seeing none, we will move into our action items. As noted in the beginning of the meeting, the action item number 1 has been tabled at the request of Heritage Health himself. So we'll go to action item number 2, letter of support, Columbia University and Kipp School, use of the Fairway parking lot.
Yes, hey y'all, welcome to all the new members. I'm April Adams. I'm co-chair of Uniform Services and Transportation. So that's all the uniform services like NYPD, Department of Sanitation, DOT, FDNY, all that great stuff. Co-chairs with the fabulous Solomon Prophet over there. So welcome. Go Knicks, happy Pride and happy Juneteenth. Yeah. All right, first up, so Columbia University and Kipp School. So we have, this resolution is about asking Columbia University to open the Fairway parking lot to community use. This was brought forth to us by Kipp School. We're trying to help them figure out a traffic plan on West 133rd Street and Broadway. They have a lot of traffic issues when school lets out. And one of the ways they were hoping to mitigate that issue was to allow teachers to park at the Fairway parking lot, but this resolution is bigger than that. It's also about using it for maybe a farmer's market or for staging for the ferry that's coming up or things of that nature. So just asking Columbia to consider community use in that location. Awesome. We're good?
Yes. Just a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're looking for a resolution. I think at the exec meeting, we discussed adding CB9 residents as potential parkers. Was that added to the language of the resolution?
No, that was not.
Reason?
I was not sorry, I didn't know that was asked to be added. But I can do a friendly amendment on that.
Sure, that'd be great. Sure.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
all right. So we're good to go, I think? Oh, and then Alicia has
Any other?
So he's saying that the traffic between 133rd and Broadway and South Avenue, when it's really from 135th to 133rd and Broadway, and it goes from Broadway down to South Avenue. It's not the seatbelt caution, it's the parents that triple car that make it difficult for the CAs and the disabled to get to a bus, and the buses cannot go. They do have school buses that park on 135th Street that do take up the parking for the kids where they can park. But it's bigger than that, and it's dangerous because there's one crossing guard on 135th Street and Broadway. And the parents do not, the people that own cars, that children go to that school, they do not care. They get out the car, however they park it, and take their kid downstairs. The school should, and my advice is, have a teacher at the gate. So when parents want to feel that their children are going into the schoolyard safely, they can let them off at the gate and go downstairs, and the parents can get back to their car.
Yeah, actually, was a couple months ago, we voted on and passed a letter of support for the Open Streets Plan application that Kipp School put in. They would like to do a pilot program in the fall to mitigate the traffic there. So from 7 to 8 a.m. and then again from 3 to 4, it's gonna be a one-way street to help mitigate that traffic. So we're helping, that will. One second, sir.
135th Street and Broadway to 133rd Street. They need to have traffic cops to give the parents that do call, triple call.
Yeah.
I'm not saying double call, triple call.
Absolutely. Let's talk offline because that's outside the scope of the open streets application and this resolution, but I hear you for sure. So I think we're good on this reso. Awesome. Okay, great. Awesome. And then the getaway 151. So as y'all heard, when I just talked to Gabriella, and mentioned this resolution, this is a letter of support for the getaway 151 on 151st Street in Riverside. This is a concessionaire. He has an excellent business. He offers for groups to come and do musical performances and musical acts at his establishment for free. He never charges folks to come and participate or to attend, as well as we've been wanting for years for this particular space to be activated. It's sat empty for a long time, and now finally we have an establishment there, and he's being plagued by a lot of issues such as the M11 bus goes on top of the restaurant, even though it's not supposed to, and it's cracking the cement. Like there's dump trucks that have been tossing things over there. The Department of Transportation is not assisting him with asbestos removal and lighting concerns. It's a whole swath of issues, and we want a multi-agency, multiple elected official response to this issue because we want small businesses to remain in this area, and they're doing right now nothing to help. So.
Is this David who has on the mezzanine?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Exactly. And we're hoping to have a summer soiree there later in a couple weeks, possibly. We'll talk about the dates. You'll get an email. But do you have any questions about this letter of support?
I'm not that familiar with this area, so I'm gonna ask a question, Victor. Is that the area over there where they used to host the Jazzmobile?
No.
It's not that.
So it's down the stairs at 152nd, and then when you go down the stairs, you'll see.
151st.
51st, you see an archway.
Right.
With a setback area.
Okay.
That's the area.
I think it was formerly horse stables or something like that, back in the 19th century or something.
And he did the concrete work himself, and now that's been destroyed, so he's getting leaks. And he's invested a lot of money, so we're trying to
We
get.
paved the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second, yes.
Thank you.
Question online?
Hannah Friedman, do you have a question?
Unmute yourself.
I think Michael Lasher's office wanted to give an update as well. I think there was
On this?
no, I think it was before.
Oh,
Yeah.
What is this for?
okay.
But
You're still there?
Ruben's hand was raised for like a.
Ruben?
Yes?
Ruben, are you online? I can't see.
Hold on 1 second. And, I don't,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
asked if
seeing
there was
what's
any other
going
elected officials to do.
Hi, everybody.
Oh.
Sorry, it's Ruben Mitchell from Micah's office.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about
Go
that.
ahead.
I was think I was in the webinar link and couldn't
Okay.
unmute.
Gotcha. Welcome.
Thank you. I'll keep it very brief. Just want to give a quick post-session update. Sorry I can't be there in person. It was really nice to see a lot of you guys at the presser we had with Jano a few weeks ago. Like MHGC, we will stay on Columbia and keep you posted with any updates we learn. Just want to give you a quick post-session update. Session ended June 5th. Quickly going to talk about 3 of our bills that we were really excited to get through in the budget, 3 of Micah's bills. 2 of which are really directly related to immigrant protections and are some of the most expansive immigrant protection bills passed in New York State this year. The first is a sensitive locations bill. So we got a bill to ban ICE from entering within sensitive locations that schools, hospitals, places of worship, senior centers, et cetera, government offices. And we also got our Converse 1983 bill passed. That's would allow for a private right of action against ICE agents for violations of the state constitution. So New Yorkers can now sue ICE agents for violating their state constitution in state courts, which is huge and we're super excited about. The third bill is a little more local. This is a housing bill that we were working on with Senator Kavanaugh for a while. It's about tenant harassment protections, and it basically establishes a new Class D felony for landlords who own multiple buildings and engage in acts of 3 or more tenant harassments in each building amongst 2 or more buildings. And this is really trying to get landlords who engage in mass instances of tenant harassment but hide behind owning multiple buildings. So we're really excited to get this through. Coming up in our office, we have a SNAP assistance event on the 24th, so feel free to stop by anytime 9 through 5. If you need help with anything SNAP related, you can of course come by any other time where we have people there to help. We're buzzing on 104th, even though session's over. As always, you can reach us at 212-866-3970, or Lasher m@nyassembly.gov. Our office is on 245 West 104th. That's 104th Street between Broadway and West Side Drive. So please feel free, Riverside Drive. So please feel free to come back down whenever. I'd like to see you there. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
We look forward to seeing you in September at the meeting in person if you can make it. All right.
No, sorry, I couldn't make it this.
Oh, no problem. Next time. Thanks. Thank you.
Guys.
All righty. Next, somebody else.
You want to
Solomon.
next?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm Solomon Prophet. I'm the co-chair of Uniform Services and Transportation Committee. I'm also the secretary of the board. I'm talking to you about item number 4. This is pedestrian safety improvements along Amsterdam Avenue between 135th and 139th Street. Earlier this month, DOT reached out to us and presented a proposal to install some pedestrian and bicycle safety improvements along Amsterdam Avenue between 135th and 139th Street. So just on the other side of this building. What they're proposing is to put in some traffic calming measures, reinforce some of the bike lanes. They're going to put some I'm drawing a blank on the name of where you park the bikes along the bike racks. Yes, they're proposing bike racks to be installed. They're proposing something called street seat area. This is a area where they are going to be there's going to be seating, open seating, kind of like a plaza on Amsterdam Avenue, and City College is their partner in this street seat program. And City College will be putting out furniture every day for community members to use and be able to sit down and enjoy the open area there. They're also going to be making some other traffic improvements in terms of how the bikes kind of go in and out of the lanes. I wish I had a picture to show you. We're going to encourage DOT to actually come to general board meeting and do a presentation. But they had asked us, they did some outreach. We gave them feedback. The letter is in your packet. But the feedback we gave them really was, we are losing about 12 parking spots due to this particular change. So we're asking them to look into other areas where parking may be added. We're also asking them to do more outreach, to engage the businesses in the area, in the district, to make sure that everyone is aligned with this proposal. In addition, other agencies like the fire department, there's a firehouse on, I believe, 139th, 139th between Amsterdam and Broadway. So we want to make sure that they're not impacted. And see what else is there. Yeah, we just want to make sure that engagement happens within the community, that they're open to our feedback, to our input. We also asked them to look at some of these improvements on 141st Street between Edgecombe and Amsterdam Avenue. And there was one other area. I'm forgetting. Oh, on 140th and Convent, we also asked them to take a look at to see if they could put the street seat areas in. Yes, Juan, I see you.
Solomon, I'm very uncomfortable agreeing to it because they're not even listening to us. I mean, we have had months of barricade. People can't even walk through. It feels like I feel like cattle walking through those barricades, and they don't care. And they came and they talked to us. They talked at us actually. And it's been months of this. I've shown them pictures. They don't care. So why are we doing this for them just to keep going? In addition to the fact that they didn't even come and walk the neighborhood and talk to the business. I don't know why we're saying yes to this.
Well, the proposal is coming from DOT, not from City College. City College is the partner. Right.
Especially them. They don't even do a study on 140th to see the traffic, Solomon. You know?
140th. Huh?
I hear you. Yes.
And another question about parking. Why is it that whenever there's an encroachment on the total number of parking spots, it's always the affordable parking that gets hit hardest and first? We're not hitting luxury garages. We're not hitting, the folks that charge you 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks an hour to park. We're hitting the parts of the city and taking away that element of affordability to those of us who do drive. That's unnecessary. I mean, if we're going to agree to something like this, in addition to the concerns that were just voiced, I would also want there to be explicit language conditioned on finding 12 or more parking spaces within a 3 to 5 block radius.
I'd like to piggyback. I'd like to see that a resolution that talks about that community, and you're talking about Sugar Hill. That's my community. And you're talking about seating out in there, this is counterproductive to the culture of that community. In certain areas where people own those townhouses, that's private property over there. And that is not an environment that is conducive to the community. You need to question the community at large there. So I make a motion that this be tabled until the community is polled and questioned and make a response to what you're proposing.
And perhaps DOT can come to.
The motion to table.
Second.
Motion, second. Ted, you had something?
Yes, it is non-debatable. After a motion, one has to move directly to a vote.
Oh, right, okay.
And please second that motion.
But it's gotta be a vote,
So you're saying there has to be a vote, Ted? Is that what you're saying?
Whether it be tabled.
Yes.
Tabled, yes.
So that we know.
Tabling has to have a closure date.
Okay. We have,
Table it until September. To September when we come back.
Right. But then so we want to vote on tabling it till September.
correct.
So that's the motion on the floor.
Right, call the roll, vote.
Okay. April Adams.
Yes.
Joyce Adewumi.
She stepped out.
Walter Alexander.
Yes.
Marquise Bell.
Yes.
Greg Brito.
Yes.
Patricia Caldwell. Yes. Cameron Clark.
Abstain.
Juan Palomares.
Oh, yes.
Gretchen Colony.
Abstain.
Victor Edwards.
Yes.
Denise Ford. John Martin Green.
Yes.
Michael Gross.
Abstain.
Monique Harding Cordero, yes. Laquita Henry.
Yes.
Heather Jason.
Yes.
Chris Johnson.
He left.
Oh, okay. Patricia Wadler Johnson.
Yes.
Ted Kovaloff.
Yes.
Christina Maria Lopez.
Yes.
Tina Lumley.
Yes.
Deidre McIntosh Brown.
Yes.
Solomon Prophet.
Abstain.
Teresa Coles Ragan.
Abstain.
David Ratner.
Yes.
Martine Sarcy.
Yes.
Shantae Styles.
Yes.
Shanika Wilson.
Yes.
Juan Diego Jaramillo.
Alexander. Excuse me?
JV?
Did you get Juan? Oh,
Alexander Jimenez.
Yes.
Styles, for the new people, because I was late, sorry, I'm gonna call your names at the end. Okay? I didn't forget you.
okay.
Okay. Oh, can't do that. Alicia Barsdale? Alicia?
Yes.
Jenny Bennett?
If you're voting yes, you're voting yes to table till
Right,
September.
that's correct. Still yes, Jenny?
Yes.
Okay, where are you?
Oh, right there.
Thank you. Shari Carpenter? Okay, not here, okay. Marilyn Foglia?
Not here.
Oh. Okay, Sadie Hargis?
Yes.
Juan Diego Jaramillo?
Jaramillo.
Sorry, I butchered your name. I'll get it. Yes, no?
Abstain.
Theodore Carmenby?
Abstain.
Crombie.
Crombie. I'll get it next time. Yali Zussman? Okay, I gotta count. Give me a moment. And good evening all. I'm first vice chair. Sorry, I missed all the new people, but you'll get to know me. Joyce, we're voting on, and did you hear the res on the pedestrian safety improvements? Okay, what is your vote? We're voting, the motion is to table until September.
Yes.
Thank you. Give me time to count, please. Thank you.
There's not a timetable on it, right? There is? When does it have to get done by?
October.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
we're kind of screwed.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
It looks like we have, it looks like, it's 24 yes, eight abstentions, so the vote is the table. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, vote is tabled. All right, next item is Beth, who's presenting that.
All right, good evening, everyone. For folks who don't know me, my name is Mateen Sarsi. I'm the co-chair of the Housing, Land Use and Zoning Committee, along with my co-chair, David Ratner. As you have, for folks who haven't noticed yet, housing is very important to us. And so the first thing I'm going to bring is actually a joint letter. This is working together with Community Board 10 regarding deed theft, where we're not only acknowledging what's happening in Brooklyn, but also recognizing the fact that it is happening here, particularly looking at West Central and South Harlem. So this letter is to stand in solidarity with our neighbors in Brooklyn, as well as the current issues here in Upper Manhattan, specifically affecting Black and brown homeowners, legacy families, and elderly residents that are increasingly targeted by fraudulent networks. So this letter specifically in support of current state resolutions as well as a city council resolutions. We're specifically seeking to enforce and expand temporary eviction moratoriums to establish a citywide opt-out cease and desist zone, to fully fund a right to counsel for property title fraud, and to fund specialized investigative units and local oversight. A lot of these, as I mentioned, there are state bills in place, and the city council also passed a resolution, and they've sent a letter over to Kathy Hochul's office, Governor Hochul's office. And so this letter, it went through Committee Board 10, they voted on it, they approved it, and so we're hoping to join them with this letter.
Unanimous.
Second.
Good job, Jim.
Next up is Urban Resource Institute. It was spoken about within the West Harlem Development Corporation context. The letters that you have on you is going to be specific to the 2025 letter. One of the reasons for doing that is just to really show how much of a difference this particular project is when you actually have a partner that wants to work with a community board and listens to their recommendations. And so huge shout out to our previous co-chairs, Signy and Liz, who took this on, as well as Barry. And so this updated letter gave us a little bit of some leverage. One of the improvements that we're looking to get, so in terms of the community benefits, is going to be looking at having on-site educational workshops that helps community residents navigate the Housing Connect or the lottery for the affordable process. No apartment in this building is above 60% AMI. So this is something that's actually affordable. If you were here for Arnav's presentation, it falls within the context of the community requirements in terms of actual affordability levels. And when it comes to the 130th site, there is a little bit over 1,000 square feet of community space that will be open and available for the local community, in addition to 765 square foot multi-purpose room on the lower level of the same building. So it also expands facility space that, again, we're going to have access to. The site is going to include 3,000 square feet of shared space that's going to be specific to the residents, gives them quality of life, gives them a space and something that they're able to share. And then for any sort of local hiring targets, we're not only having them reach out to small business services with the Workforce One Career Center in Harlem, but also we want them to coordinate with the New York City Housing Authority Office of Resident Economic Empowerment and Sustainability, which is the same branch but specific to NYCHA, so that they're also making sure that our NYCHA residents are being covered. That includes Manhattanville houses, Manhattanville rehab, general grant houses, and Audubon houses. Some of the changes in terms of the project specification, the original proposal was at 84 units. Again, because they came together, they listened to the recommendations of the community board. We're adding 100 units to this. So we're looking at 184 units, 24 stories, 60% or less of the area median income, and access to the community spaces. So that's all I have for the letter. Do I have a motion?
Location question. Where's the location of that?
129th between Amsterdam and Convent.
And 129.
Ted here.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, I want to speak in favor of it, but as a member of the Board of Directors of WHDC, I will have to abstain for cause.
Okay.
Okay. So noted. Okay.
Second.
Is it unanimous?
Unanimous consent? Yes.
Would that apply to me also, Ted? That also applies to Barry?
No, you are representatives of the board to these. I'm different.
Okay, so,
Unanimous consent?
Second.
Passed, okay.
okay, excellent.
Thank you, Cameron.
That's it, right?
Thank you for changing.
unanimous too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ferry service?
We're up to ferry service.
What number is it?
Who is that? Number 7. Who's presenting ferry service?
Go for it, man.
Hey, everyone. We have a resolution that was passed by the executive committee calling for ferry service to be introduced to the West Harlem piers. I know this is something that a lot of elected officials and local community organizations have been pushing for. And, you know, the infrastructure has been in place for ferry service since 2009. There's been a lot of talk with the World Cup about bringing ferry service to the piers so that ferries can travel to and from Edgewater. I personally think that we can expand ferry service from the West Harlem piers to a lot of different parts of Manhattan. And I'm really excited by this and would welcome any questions or amendments.
Unanimous consent.
Second. Does Sadie have a question? Sorry.
Sorry, I had a question.
So, what would that look like? Are we saying that there would be a ferry from New York City into New Jersey, Edgewater, New Jersey, as well as another ferry that can go from West Harlem to other parts of New York City?
So on the East River and in Brooklyn and in other parts of New York City, there's ferry service that goes to a bunch of different places. Obviously, I think there are at least like 3 or 4 on Manhattan's east side. Our council member and other folks specifically called for ferry service to Edgewater just because the World Cup was happening. You know, this resolution is really just calling for creating the capacity and building ferry service and having it in place. And you know.
But to Edgewater, yes.
This resolution isn't for Edgewater specifically. It's just for the introduction of ferry service from the West Harlem piers. That makes sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
No routes predetermined. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
More questions?
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's been any discussion with EDC or consideration about using the pier for Blue Highways initiative, which is like intracity shipping. They're trying to get a lot of trucks off the road, so they're trying to get more ferry service to like ship things throughout the city.
That sounds interesting. I don't know anything about that.
Is that on the East River?
I can
The
touch
Blue
on that
Highway?
too, actually. So
Yeah, sure, go
here's
ahead.
my
Yeah.
question. So there's two ferry operators. There's New York Waterways and there's NYC Ferry. NYC Ferry runs like $4. Basically, it used to be the same as subway, so it's slightly more expensive and it's subsidized by the city. New York Waterways is the one that goes to Jersey, and I don't know if there's a legality that's why it can go to like cross state lines and NYC Ferry has to stay here, but the New York Waterways is significantly more expensive. Those tickets just like for an 8-minute ferry ride can get up to like $15. So I don't know if there's any if there's any way that we would want to put a friendly amendment in to like speak to that we have a priority. I like the idea of it going across to Jersey because it helps with the bridge traffic and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But just one thought, but so the Blue Waterways, or the Blue Highways, they operate with the NYC Ferry or the New York waterways that goes across from New Jersey. So they'll go when in off-peak times, they'll put the cargo on the ferries and it comes across, and then cyclists meet the ferry at the destination and help deliver it out. So they do like the final mile delivery. So they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, would welcome a friendly amendment, if that's something folks.
But you have all the contacts.
Yeah, I don't know if we just want to say, like, I don't want to be specific and like say the friendly amendment that we want to prioritize an operator, but maybe just say that like. Affordable operators
Affordable,
given
yeah.
preference or
Okay.
something like that, because I think it can become cost prohibitive when it's basically the same price to take the ferry as it is for the GWB bridge toll.
Yeah.
It's not, it doesn't really incentivize the way that we want it to.
Lisa has her hand up.
Yeah.
Well, but my understanding, the councilman and the other elected officials were making this ferry not only for the World Cup, but for affordability for people to be able to travel back and forth to Jersey, and then have people that work in Jersey have shuttles at the other end, so they can have a affordable, job, so they can get back and forth to New York or to New Jersey without going through the bridge. That's going to cost more than whatever it is.
100%, yeah.
And it's something that, and I know Ms. Dunn has talked about this, because one of the things we talked about on the West Harlem Piers Development Committee was that which bus is it, Ms. Dunn? The one bus doesn't go all the way over to the ferry anymore when it turns around. Is it the 125?
125.
Yeah, the 125 used to go all the way over to the ferry and pick up. It doesn't go that far anymore.
35th Street and ended there.
Right, so that's been on our radar too, and talking like on the on UST that like. To make it feasible.
So we need to add that to the friendly amendment.
We need to add it to the amendment, but I think it's just one of those things that's on our radar to increase feasibility about it.
That makes sense, yeah.
So this is just a non-specific,
So this is just, we're in favor of introducing ferry service to the West Harlem Piers.
okay.
Yes, that's all this resolution is doing. Yeah, it's not more specific than that, yeah.
So unanimous consent with friendly amendment.
Wait, I think we have one question on the red. Okay, cool.
Thinking purposes.
Perfect.
Are we doing the friendly amendment or?
No.
I second.
Wait,
It doesn't sound like we are. Yeah.
no, the waterways and routes and other industries.
More infrastructure areas.
I'm
sorry. Too many people are talking at once and we have to wrap it up. Are we doing unanimous consent with a friendly amendment?
No.
Friendly amendment.
Yeah.
Right.
Affordability.
Right.
Okay.
And what is the friendly amendment for?
Affordability.
Oh,
And we're
affordability.
prioritizing affordable, an
Okay.
operator that.
I heard it that time, thank you.
You're welcome.
I think you did.
Okay, got it.
And Ted seconded.
Thank you, Ted.
We can work to put that language in there. Okay, second item really quick. Harlem Rocket. It's also West Harlem Pier specific.
Right.
This is a proposal that Harlem Rocket presented at the executive board as well, executive committee meeting as well, to build, to construct a floating dock and gangway landing at the West Harlem Piers. The proposed gangway would be about 4 feet wide and 60 feet long, while the floating dock would be 12 feet wide and 70 feet long. So it would just be for use by Harlem Rocket, which is a sort of boating company that gives tours and cultural immersion experiences on the Hudson River, where they sort of show people the history of Harlem and parts of the Bronx and Upper Manhattan. And that's the proposal. And they presented it to EDC and are waiting approval for the creative. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Okay, unanimous consent.
Okay, next up, 601 West 114th Street, accessible ramp.
Unanimous consent?
Good everybody.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
There's Alexander Shemegas, middle omission of middle name intended, perhaps. We had the Broadway Presbyterian Church present before us earlier this month. And the resolution that we're looking at is basically requesting support for the construction of a ramp. And my co-chair Christine and I are strongly in support of this for 5 principal reasons. Very briefly, number one, it does not obstruct the sidewalk. Number two, it's law and code compliant. Number three, it is not constructed in a way that lends itself to loitering or camping in or around the ramp area. Number four, it is narrowly worded to ensure that it is law and code compliant. And number five, and the best reason of all, is it gives access to more and a greater number of New Yorkers to the church.
Unanimous consent.
Thank you all very much. Have a great summer.
Yes.
Item number 10, co-naming of pedestrian walkway, Amsterdam Avenue, LaSalle.
Good evening once again.
That's 114.
So this, you heard from Mr. Roten, I think he had to leave. But he spoke about his father, Orsby, Butch Roten, who was a longtime resident of our district. He was one of the first families that lived in the NYCHA grant housing development. Something that James Roten did not tell you was that his father was part of the tenant association, was a vice president. He also helped to create events for the children in the community. So they would do Halloween kind of trick or treat kind of outings and to give out candy to the kids. He would dress up as Santa Claus during Christmas time to give out gifts. And he also was kind of the handyman. As many of you know, there are a lot of tenants of grant housing. They don't get repairs done very timely. And so Mr. Roten would go around and help people with his hands and help them. I was waiting for Cameron.
That's Walter.
Hold on 1 second.
I
One
have a
second.
question.
Question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Butch or-
Orsby Butch Roten.
Am I back? Am I back?
Okay. Yeah, unanimous consent. Absolutely. What you say?
Thank you.
Unanimous consent.
Did, yeah.
Yeah.
I said, it did fix my life.
The only thing I just.
God bless.
Hold on, Ms. Dean has
Hold
a.
on 1 second.
Yeah, I guess the question is, in terms of the pathway going into NYCHA, the one thing I would probably say is, in the resolution, it kind of puts like the city agencies that kind of follow up. If you're gonna wait for NYCHA, it's not gonna happen.
Exactly.
So like the thing I would kind of propose is that there is a renaming process with NYCHA. I'd love to work with the folks, because they're gonna need the association to provide minute meetings and a resolution on their end. That then has to go to the corporate secretary and it has to be voted before the NYCHA board. But I
So
can
you
help
call
with
it
that
for a friendly
process.
amendment?
Yes, well, friendly amendment that we should assist in that process.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
I'm fine with that.
The co-naming?
Yeah, what's the deadline?
Oh,
They don't hold it
No.
up. Hold on.
Why?
No, we've done this
Because it has to go through the association, they have to create a resolution, it has to go before the corporate secretary,
What if they put it on the street instead of in NYCHA?
then that's okay.
Well, that's what.
We'll talk about it.
As long as it doesn't.
Yeah, I think they were looking to have the pedestrian walkway that goes through.
But at the street level.
That is on the street.
Yeah, it's between Amsterdam and LaSalle.
It's
Yeah.
not in the path, it's on the street, that leads to the path.
Yeah, it's not within the project.
I'll go to yes regardless, but any idea whether this is posthumous or not? Any idea whether it's posthumous or not?
Yeah.
They don't really.
You can't get something named after.
Yeah.
You can, but.
Oh, yeah, I guess you can, technically you can, yes. Usually. Yes, nothing is there.
All right.
Yeah, so we can put in the friendly amendment about NYCHA. I'm fine with it.
No, I'm not voting on that. I put a unanimous consent to the renaming of that street. Because that's not with New York City housing property, that's the New York City street,
Okay.
right?
All right.
I think, yeah.
So that's not necessary. I'm not agreeing to that amendment.
Yeah, if it doesn't go into NYCHA, you're good, then you don't have.
It's
to.
that.
Yeah, it's the pedestrian walkway.
Yes.
I think between, on 120, between 123rd and LaSalle. It's going, it's that walkway. So I don't think it's within the NYCHA confines.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Then we don't need it.
Can I have the consent?
It was already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. All right, going into liquor licenses.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
there.
So, I'm going to talk to you guys about renewal liquor licenses. This is items 11 through 14.
Yes.
The first one is, Amenenser Restaurant and Lounge. This is on, 3666 Broadway between West 151st Street and 152nd Street. We did check with the 30th precinct, no objection. It passed UST unanimously. And there were no outstanding violations with any of the city agencies.
So question, Solomon.
Yes.
Items 11 through 14, any objections from NYPD?
No objections from NYPD. All of them passed unanimously through the committee. And there were no outstanding violations, that we are aware of.
Heather
To all
and Patricia Paul.
Okay, so three.
Who's the third abstention?
Heather.
Alicia
And Barksdale?
Barksdale, yeah.
All.
Okay, hold on.
Okay,
So wait.
so noted for the record. Thank
So
you.
I have Barksdale, Jason, and Caldwell as abstaining. Okay. The last one, number 15, is a sidewalk application, sidewalk cafe application for Bus Stop Diner. This is every year you have to reapply for a sidewalk cafe. Bus Stop Diner has had one, through COVID and, prior years, so, this is just a renewal from their standpoint. I know Ted had brought up an issue of how their, sidewalk cafe used to be, there used to be a structure around it. There is no longer a structure.
Hey. Here's your Caldwell abstain.
You're abstaining from the sidewalk application, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yes, I will also abstain.
Caldwell abstains, Kovalev abstains, anyone else abstaining for the sidewalk application for Bus Stop Diner?
Who abstained for the sidewalk?
Caldwell and Kovalev.
And.
Right.
Okay, just a reminder to everyone, you have to fill out these pink sheets, the voting sheets. Make sure that, action item number 1 is, you put down that it's been tabled, that's per chair. And then item number 4 was tabled to September. Just put down what did you vote for that? And then everything else, you should either put a yes or a no, and then make sure you sign it, please. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair.
Any,
No. But also, I'm gonna bring the sheets up to. the
old
front.
business? You.
I have only one thing that I would like to see, and that is for that park we have got.
Walter, please. Go ahead, Ms. Caldwell.
The one thing that has gone around Bush is the allotment of millions of dollars and which I personally wrote the resolution to combine with Community Board 10. That's 133rd Street Playground on St. Nicholas Avenue be redone. They allotted the city over hundreds of millions of dollars. Now they've taken about $27 million just to put in Community Board. Is that 9 or is that 10? I believe it's in 10. When is that park gonna be completed? They promised us that it would be completed by the fall of 2026. Now, all of a sudden, no one knows anything about it.
It's not.
All right.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Annunciation Park?
No, not Annunciation, the playground from St. Nicholas Avenue.
133rd.
130 on St. Nicholas
Yes,
Avenue, 130,
that's
the
fine.
children's playground.
Oh,
Didn't we
yes,
get
yes,
money?
yes.
Yes, we got
It's
money
a
for that.
Pablo.
We did get money for that.
Yeah, they promised to complete it, and then all of a sudden Matt says, we didn't hear anything about it.
I thought we were on the
Okay.
budget.
No, I
Let
don't.
me follow up on that
Thank you,
myself.
and please. Thank you.
I know they want money for.
New business, new business. I have new business myself, so. As many of you know, Carolyn Thompson was a longtime member of this board. Also served at the 30th Precinct Council. So we have an award that we will be giving this year in her name. And Manhattan Community Board 9 is pleased to present this Carolyn Thompson Community Leadership Award to Joyce Adewume.
Congratulations.
Recognition for your tireless service to our community, presenting the New York City Multicultural Festival for the past 17 years. We are thankful for your commitment to our community and to New York City.
Well, it's over.
Someone get a picture, we can put it.
Yo, come on, grab that.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Oh, I don't. Oh, they were great. I guess, you know,
Speech, 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 speech.
Speech is right.
You wanna say anything, Joyce? You can sing.
yeah, I could, but I won't. I just want to say thank you. I'm really surprised. Like I said, if I known, I would have messed up, but I really am surprised. Thank you so much for this. I'm speechless. Thank you all.
Two things before we close. We want to take a photo of all the new members for our newsletter. And secondly, I just want to say. Oh, sorry, correction, group photo. I just want to say thank you for this session that we've been through and all the hard work. I don't take it for granted that the work that you come out and leave your families, you come from work sometimes, and the work that goes in is very much appreciated to make our community a better place to live and for all of us. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of that. Also, we don't work in a silo, right? This work gets done from the top to the bottom, and it starts with our office. And that is our district manager, you know. And Peter Ellison is there. Ashley, I have already left.
All right, thank you.
And the members that are sitting up here make this happen along with you. So thank you very much.
And we are thrilled to have joining us all of the elderly high school members.
Let's get a group photo. Everybody, can we do it?
Nice to meet you.
Please.
We're gonna take a photo if you have 1 second. if you don't mind.
Now that I'm
Where are we taking that?
I want to.
I'm ready. I am.
Time.
Just.
Much deserved.
Okay.
I'm